Gentlemen, welcome back to MGTOW Money. Today's topic, your hypergamy is going to cost you. Before we get into today's topic, let me mention something from current events today. This is not, I emphasize not, a political channel. However, I specifically want to discuss briefly something that is happening on the political scene, which is the ongoing controversy with Brett Kavanaugh. As some of you may or may not know, Brett Kavanaugh was nominated by the President of the United States, Donald Trump, to be the newest Supreme Court member. Brett Kavanaugh has been accused by one single woman of sexual assault. That's a factual statement. A second factual statement is this one single woman alleges that this sexual assault took place when? Oh, that's right, 35 years ago. Men, did you hear me clearly? 35 years ago when they were both quote unquote teens. Furthermore, again, factually speaking, there are no witnesses to this alleged sexual assault. In addition, another fact that's important here, she did not report the sexual assault until within the past week, of course, after he's begun the process of being confirmed for the court. In addition, again, another factual statement here, there is something that exists within the world, I encourage you to Google it, called false memories. Now, men, I don't have any idea of what's going on here, and no one does, frankly. However, again, I have warned you in numerous videos. Please be aware that these things can happen to you, and evidently they can even happen to you if it goes back 35 plus years. So guard yourselves accordingly, men. I'll include a link in the video. You've been warned. All right, today's topic, your hypergamy is going to cost you. Specifically, I'm defining hypergamy is when a man in this case is looking to move up, to change up. In other words, to upgrade. You know, we apply it to women, of course, frequently, and it does apply. But what about you, the man, and your hypergamous instincts, your instincts to upgrade? And specifically, nothing illustrates this better, in my opinion, are the 3 new iPhones from Apple Corporation. Before I get into the details on this, let me specifically thank the ongoing support from the Patreon investors in this channel, as well as those men that bought me a cup of coffee via PayPal based upon the vast video. Men, thank you. I do sincerely appreciate the ongoing respect you're showing for this channel and what I'm attempting to do. I encourage everyone, see the video description, become a supporter of this channel. Let's get on to it. Last week, Apple Corporation came out with their highest priced iPhone ever, a record-breaking $1,449 plus tax, of course. And that, again, is in the U.S. So in other words, we're looking at approximately $1,500 US to buy a phone. And by the way, men, it's actually going to be higher as many countries have tariffs and that type of thing. It's going to actually probably be about $2,000 in many parts of the world. And furthermore, another important fact to this that you need to be aware of, Apple's cost of manufacturing for an iPhone is roughly $250 to $400. So I'll leave aside whether Apple Corporation has huge margins, which obviously do, and what a great company, at least from a stockholder standpoint it is. Specifically, I'm focusing on the suckers, I mean buyers, of course, who are going to be lining up days before, begging Apple, literally pleading with Apple to take their money. Please, Tim Cook, CEO of Apple, take my money. Please take my money. Even though I've spent days, weeks of my life trying to get this money, I desperately need your phone. Now, let me say right off the bat, I'm not anti-Apple. I'm not anti-iPhone. As a matter of fact, I have an iPhone and I've had an iPhone for years. However, I also recognize clearly this is not a need. This is a want. And let me get into some details here in just a second. However, before I get into that, let me encourage you men, leave a comment why you think this is happening. Because millions of people and a high percentage of men, the majority are going to be men, are going to be buying, of course, liabilities. In other words, defining a liability, something that is guaranteed to significantly drop in value right after it's purchased. Guaranteed, as opposed to if these same men were buying an asset, whether it be stocks, bonds, cryptocurrency, something that might increase in value, or maybe just something that pays them dividends, or even if they just left the money in the bank, paying them interest. Again, I encourage you, leave your thoughts in the comments section as to why this is happening. Here are a couple of ideas why I think it's happening, and furthermore, most importantly, what you need to do to break yourself of this habit. The biggest reason why I think this is happening is that these men are seeking an instant dopamine hit. A major dopamine hit. You know, it's just like a smoker. He wakes up in the morning, and one of the first pleasures a smoker gets, and I'm not, by the way, but I do know in talking to them, is that first drag on a cigarette in the morning. Or a heroin addict who takes that much needed hit. Boom! They can really feel it, that initial euphoria, that high, that experience of buying that new iPhone provides them, these buyers, that same euphoric, satisfying feeling. And the key word, men, here is feeling. The problem with most men and their feelings, and anyone's feelings, are that, and just like if you've ever, quote, been in love, it will fade. Men, it's like the ocean tide coming in, going out. As time passes, the intensity that you have for something, in particular for physical objects, it will fade. I virtually guarantee you that. It also is especially pronounced. It especially becomes a serious issue when something new and better comes along. Hypergamy kicks in. 6 months or a year or 18 months after, the dopamine effects have now fully worn off. In other words, there are no more Facebook likes regarding your shiny new object that you're showing everyone. And of course, everyone around you, many of the people that you hang out with, guess what? They probably have the same shiny object as you. So in other words, you're no longer special. You no longer stand out. No one's patting you on the back and telling you congratulations. No one admires you. You're just one in millions of other people. What's the solution, of course? What do you think the solution is here? The solution is you go back to your drug dealer for another hit. Again, the upgrade cycle kicks in. The hypergamy kicks in. The new, improved, the far better version that is now available. Now you can get that same hit of dopamine all over again. You can feel great again, and you can move forward again, and you can justify why you've spent all that time at work dealing with that horrible boss, etc. Now, here's how you're going to break this habit, and this is actually very easy. So listen carefully. You're going to get focused on your goal. And if you're a subscriber here on this channel and you've been around for a while, your goal, of course, is financial freedom. Specifically, I'm defining financial freedom as doing the work you want, with whom you want, when you want. And for those men that are struggling with trying to get focused, with trying to determine what their goal is, let me recommend, I highly suggest seeing the video description, see my video regarding on determining your magic number, because that is the foundation of your financial freedom. Furthermore, I want to throw out a couple of other ideas that are applicable here. Before buying anything, whether it be a fountain pen, whether it be a notebook, whether it be a car, whether it be an iPhone, etc., break down the cost. Break down the cost by how long do you think you're going to own this particular object? Is it going to be a day, a week, a year, 20 years, etc.? Break down the cost. Make sure that, okay, yeah, this justifies the cost in terms of the time frame. And furthermore, ask yourself, what alternatives are there here? What other ways can I get the same item, or at least maybe even the same feelings, at a lesser cost? Can I buy it used? Can I rent? Etc. Always get a little creative before you buy anything, especially if it's a high dollar item. I'm going to define a high dollar item because I'm a cheapskate. Anything above, let's say, $25. So again, if it's above $25, start thinking about alternatives of getting that same particular item, or maybe you don't need it at all, which is even better. Again, see the video description. I'll include another video about that idea. Let me just give a quick summary here, men. You've got two choices. You can either break your upgrade cycle addiction today and start putting your money into assets and not liabilities, and increase the chances, I emphasize that, you can increase the chances of becoming financially free at a relatively young age, or forget it. Stay addicted, continue what you've been doing all these years, and you'll probably work till you're 70 or so and kick off when you're 75. Congratulations, because that is what most of the world is going to end up doing. But you can get the rich life that you deserve by following the principles of this channel. Gentlemen, as always, hit the like button if you found this useful. John Galt, out.